Hello everyone, I am Crawlers, and apparently DICE got so much quote-unquote useful data from the beta, the Battlefield 4 beta obviously, that they are rolling out some patches and balancing here and there, which, before I get into the actual fixes, it's good, good on DICE. I mean, that they actually listen to the feedback on the forums, but at the same time, I'm kind of afraid that some whiners' complaints are getting through, like like they did in Battlefield 3, where they nerfed some weapons severely. Now, in the background, you can see me punishing some noobs and Rambo reviving players with the Dow 12 shotgun. I mean, I did have some Battlefield 4 footage, but it wasn't all that good, and I wanted to go out with a bang in Battlefield 3, and I wanted to use a little more of the weapons that, weren't going to make it into Battlefield 4. Well, whatever. So, on top of the bug fixes, the most obvious fixes would be, of course, the frame rate issues, the high CPU usage of the beta, where nobody could play, everything was lagging severely, which apparently they've identified a few reasons for, and will fix them before the final release, so that's good. Now, for the console players, apparently they really disliked the controller layout. So DICE is giving them the option of choosing a new layout called Veteran, where it will be similar to Battlefield 3. Apparently similar but not identical, and in that it's because, well, on the next gen consoles, I hear you're losing the select button, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm PC Elite for life, but if you move the spot command to the circle button or whatever, wherever you console bastards call it, and lose the command rows, which is pretty useful on consoles, I think, probably, then everything will be alright, wouldn't it? Also, yesterday someone said to me that apparently DICE is making the layout like in COD, and it's becoming more like COD in that they're going to attract all the COD kids to the game. No, that's not it at all. I mean, in COD, a barrel explodes, and that's all I'm going to say on the subject. Oh, and by the way, they nerfed a little bit the AI assist on Xbox, the aim AI assist on Xbox 360 and PS3, as it was a bit OP at close range. And now for the actual interesting changes to the gameplay in random order. The hit detection, sound and visual hit update. Now, you may have noticed in the beta there was a lot of what seemed to be insta-kills, where a dude was shooting at you from an MG, and obviously he didn't fire one shot, and you died after hearing just one crack of the bullet. Well, in actuality, he actually hit you like 3 times. Well, apparently that happened because the sound and the camera responsiveness upon, registering a hit was too slow, and therefore you didn't see or hear anything until you actually died, after you died. So the timing was way off, and they seem to have fixed that. Now, this next quote-unquote fix is a little hard for me to take. I think DICE is completely wrong about this one, and well, here it is. Remember how the AK-12 had a regular fire rate of 680 rounds a minute, and a burst fire mode which used to shoot 3 rounds at 1000 RPM? Well, apparently the COD kids complained and got through again. And this time, DICE nerfed the burst fire mode to 750 RPM, which is still, higher than the regular full auto, but I mean, come on. The first shot multiplier is still gonna be there, and we're still gonna get punished for burst firing. And see my Battlefield 4 burst fire commentary, which I'll link to the end of this video. Basically, I think the entire burst fire mechanic should be reworked in FPS games, namely Battlefield 4. Maybe the first shot multiplier, should be entirely disregarded when burst firing a weapon. Just, it becomes irrelevant. My point is that burst firing is supposed to be more accurate, and with the first shot multiplier it's actually less accurate. So I could go on forever on this. So let's get to the next beta fix. They also gave the muzzle brake a nerf in automatic fire, whatever that means. I mean, I hadn't really noticed too much what the muzzle brake did in the beta. Now, here's the thing that I did notice a lot when playing the beta. Low RPM weapons like the Scar H and such were exceedingly good at long ranges. You could take some Bambi's eye out with the Scar H, clear across the map, without damaging his belt. And apparently they are nerfing the long range accuracy of the guns that were hitting, insanely accurately at ranges, quote, outside their intended optimal range. And honestly, I could go either way about this. I mean, interesting to see where they end up. They also increased the throwing distance of med packs and ammo packs, which I did notice, by the way. You could throw the ammo pack at players pretty well in the beta at a distance, but the med packs seem to have been filled with bricks. They just wouldn't fly at all. Portable ammo packs will now reload 2 magazines instantly and up to 4 over time. They still won't reload RPGs, grenades, or explosives. They increased the muzzle flashes of the grenade launchers, apparently to make the noobs stand out. And this is a good one. They increased the revive time. You had to revive a player from 7 to 10 seconds. A very good and welcome change, I think. Now, this is interesting. They took away the RPG and the small lock-on function. DICE said it was inauthentic and imbalanced. Which, I mean, I can see the point. Taking out a lased helicopter in one hit was a bit OP. Now, they also increased Igla's and Stinger's damage from 25 to 35%. So, in theory, you would need only 3 rock missiles now to take down a chopper, whereas you would need 4 missiles before. Which to me still seems a little low. I mean, come on, if you think about it, if a missile hits you in a chopper, I mean, you're going down anyway. So, in my opinion, a Stinger or an Igla should do 50 to 100 damage. It being a game changer for the helicopter. They also buffed the tow missiles' speed from 50 to 75 meters a second, so they could, quote, catch up to quad bikes faster. Increased sustained accuracy of the coaxial LMG on vehicles as it was underpowered, and this is entirely true. I agree 100%. The LMG on tanks was super inaccurate. They reduced the grenade launcher's damage on armored vehicles, as they are supposed to be anti-personnel launchers. They also nerfed the IFV's main gun damage done to other vehicles to, quote, highlight its anti-infantry role. I don't really know what to make of this one. I mean, honestly, this sounds like we're gonna have tanks go through the IFVs like a tissue at a snot party, you know? And, I mean, I had a ton of fun stomping on the tanks with the IFV in the beta. They also fixed the issue where the main tank gun fired off-center and outside the crosshair, which was seriously annoying, of course. Sometimes I couldn't hit tanks point blank. They fixed some projectiles not warning when they were fired at a vehicle with laser designation, which was supremely annoying. I can't tell you how many times I was flying 1 second and not flying the next. They also reduced the tank's law missiles lock-on range from 500 to 350 meters, and all laser designated missiles now do 90% damage, down from 100, to attack choppers and scout choppers, to, quote, give them a chance to use the fire extinguisher after taking damage, or, you know, land and repair, I guess. And they also tweaked the score log kill feed, you know, the points that come up on the screen as you perform actions. Maybe you remember, but maybe you don't, but these things were a little sluggish. I mean, they sort of fell behind what you were doing. They didn't appear immediately. And, well, when you killed someone, it took maybe a second or so for it to come up on your kill feed. And as all the other points ran by, you know. Now, since the kill score is the most important one, and that's how you identify that the enemy has been in fact killed, you know, it's the most important one. And apparently they've now reworked it to be more like in Battlefield 3, where the kill score comes up almost immediately. Now, one last thing that I'd like to mention that they fixed, maybe most of us were hoping that they'd overlook, at least leave in the game as an Easter egg maybe, the elevator slingshot. Apparently in the beta, after the skyscraper came down, the button for the elevator did not go away, and you could still press it, you know, catapulting yourself into the sky. So a lot of moments could be had with that one, a lot of Battlefield moments. So very sad to see that go. So thanks for watching. Please rate, share this video, and check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.